This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Hey, before we get into Lewis Hamilton's situation, we'll just talk about the Australian women's cricket team. Meg Lanning, who's the skipper, she's decided that, well, she's not decided, she said there's not enough test matches at the moment. So Australia are going to play South Africa in a test match at the WACA very shortly. But she's saying all we're doing is playing T20s and one-days all the time. We barely play a test match. There just needs to be more practice in this arena. This is what she had to say.
It's really difficult to prepare for a test match. You know, in my career, we were playing once every 2 years. It takes us 2 days to work out how to play the thing, and then the test is over. If you really want the games to be a good contest and more nations to play and players to understand their game a little bit more, I think we probably need to play more.
But in this quick society, no one's got time for tests anymore, do
Nathan,
they?
she's begging for longer cricket. How do you feel about
ridiculous.
that?
What she's saying is crazy and she should be stopped. I'll just put that there, but let's talk about this
Well,
issue.
just quickly, in this lifestyle, you're right, Nathan. Everybody wants a sport to be over very shortly. We want the faster version of everything.
Yeah.
But she is 100% right. If we're going to play a professional game and there's going to be one test match every
2 years.
That's
just ludicrous.
It's ridiculous. So commit. And at
either
least
do it
give
or
the
don't.
Yeah,
either get rid of it completely or
I think get
play
rid of it completely.
I think the girls need to practice. They definitely need to practice if they're going to keep going down this thing. But sparsely playing them isn't the way to go. That's for sure. So good luck to Meg and see how it works out with Cricket Australia. The F1 news overnight was huge.
Massive.
It was huge because Lewis Hamilton. If you were watching the news last year, at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, Lewis Hamilton, he had this to say after signing a 2-year contract extension.
Mercedes have supported me since I was 13, so such a long trip, and we still have unfinished business. So we are in this together. We've got a lot of work to do to get ourselves back to the front, but there's no place I would rather be.
No part for another 6 months. That conversation lasted to.
What a difference!
After this season, 2024, for the 2025 season, he's already signed a deal with Ferrari. He'll be moving on to the dancing horse.
A 2-year contract extension.
Because he has a
clause.
He had a clause in there,
get out clause,
which is basically if I get a better offer, I'm out of here.
Ask anyone on the street. If there's a Mercedes and a Ferrari,
I was going to say
a Ferrari. I mean, you're an idiot not to. They have uppy doors, don't they?
They have uppy doors.
They have uppity doors.
I guess if you're a driver, everybody's dream would be to drive for Ferrari at some stage, wouldn't it?
But Mercedes,
Mercedes, they're bloody gold.
Ferrari, of course, you're going to go there. That seems like the more powerful car. Mercedes, rich people drop their kids off to school in those.
They do.
You know what I mean? Like, I see Mercedes all the time out in the street. When you see Ferrari, that's when you stop and look and possibly get out of the car and take a photo, put it on Instagram, pretend it's yours.
So how do you feel about Red Bull then?
It gives you wings.
Yeah.
I go. I mean, I personally would like to be sponsored by Mother.
There's no information about what the deal consists of, but Ferrari said it's a multi-year deal, right?
It has to be better.
Well, so he was on about 47 million, I think, a year.
Okay, can I say, just because you race for Ferrari right now, do you get automatically a free Ferrari?
Well, I would think so.
Well, you should, because Ferrari makes them doing another one off the production line doesn't cost them anything, just parts, Nathan, just a bit of metal.
If we get to drive Mazdas, I'm sure that he gets to drive a Ferrari. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do.
We do.
That's exciting.
I would
Melbourne Mazdas we drive.
That's right, not just any Mazdas. Yeah.
Hello, Greg.
Hi.
Can I just say, on that, Nathan, you bring up, right, so Lewis Hamilton moving over to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc is going to be his teammate in 2025. The other guy is Carlos Sainz, who has a contract at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, so there's
He's now learnt
Yes.
that next season he does not have a seat.
Oh.
That's how
this is how we found out about it.
Well, because it's now a 2-seater car. Was it a 4-seater before?
Yeah, that's right.
That sucks.
So you get squeezed out and you hear about it on the news.
Yeah, well, you just know, what, they've signed him? Well, that means I'm out. What a way to live your life. I mean, he'll probably end up finding a seat if he needs to because he's a very popular Spaniard.
I believe
What's his name again?
Carlos Sainz.
Carlos. Just head down to Melville Mazda.
Yes. Or alternatively,
Greg and Joel will sort you out.
Mercedes have probably got a bit of an opening too.
Well, they've got an opening too. Does it open up for Daniel Ricciardo to swoop on in and take a spot? Anyway, Lewis Hamilton's worth $285 million. I was just checking.
Did he win Lotto last night?
He won it. His net worth.
Amazing.
How good.
He's doing okay for himself. He'll be fine.
Lewis Hamilton's in the news today, but one thing that came across Fox Sports yesterday that blew me away was the worldwide golfers in the PGA. So we've had Live Golf come in and attack the PGA and signed all those players. So it kind of weakened them. So the PGA have been working on how are we going to keep this group of players together and make sure this golf is as strong as ever.
Okay.
Well, they got an investment of $4.5 billion from a group of American richies.
Who just love golf.
That are against Live, obviously.
Or they just love golf. And
they love golf, but I think they can see a way of making money clearly.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, they're not.
They've
They're
chucked in
billionaires.
$4.5 billion, and $2.5 of that amount of money is available. It says available. I don't know how this works. Available to the players if they request to take some money out of that pool.
For what?
So what they're saying is if Liv come for them, they can go to the PGA and say, Liv have offered me this, counter offer. Is that what that is?
Well, it doesn't actually say that, Nat. It just says it's there. It's there as a backstop if you want.
Well,
if
straight
want some
away,
money
if
out of it.
I'm a golfer,
so
they're
want some money.
They're not going to know that if Liv's contact me or not. So I just go, oh, Liv contact me. How much you got? I'll have a bill.
$2.5 billion.
why-
$2.5 billion for the
They're going
players.
to give me $500 million.
Why would anybody not want that?
Yeah.
Why would
that's a
anybody
really
not
good
put up
point.
their hand
That's a
and
really
say,
good
yeah, I
point.
want some of that money?
So
They don't seem very smart as
$2 billion
rich men.
gets put into like an investment fund, so it can help grow the game.
Yeah, right.
So you think about golf, and I know you got to be spectacularly good at golf, and it takes a lot of skill to be able. But the money
Get
in
your
that is
2-year-old swinging.
outrageous.
Is that what
And
you're
it's
saying?
getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It is
bigger.
outrageous because think about it, right? And I'm not taking anything away from golf.
No, absolutely not.
But most sports where you're getting paid a lot of money, you can probably injure yourself quite badly during that.
Or you've got a limited life.
Yeah.
Like tennis,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. This is a
late 30s
this is a game where
you can play into
this
your
is a
50s,
game where you're
60s.
wearing trousers.
Yes. or a skirt if you're,
I love the way you break down these sports
Yeah.
sometimes, and I agree. $4.5 billion.
Yeah,
like,
and you're
fair
wearing
dinkum.
And you can
they're wearing slacks.
play till you're old.
Yes.
So it's not
You
like
can play
it's
into
a
your
short
60s,
window.
mate. You can play into your 60s and get paid.
That's my
Yes.
thing. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.